We're here, we're live. Guys, namaste, God bless. Oh, shit, are all of you. Happy Monday, man. How are you guys? I am setting up the penthouse here for an overnight decorating party, man. Yeah, it's put the tree up tonight. They're like, why? Because I want to, that's why. I don't care what people think. I have the time tonight. I want to get the holidays going around here and really kick it up and piss off my downstairs neighbors with a lot of thumping at 1 or 2 in the morning, because that's my schedule. I'm sorry, I'll be as quiet as I can. But happy Monday. It is National Sandwich Day. I will be enjoying those while decorating tonight, and hopefully you guys enjoy one for yourself. And Traffic Directors Day. Here's my theory on I'm getting off kilter. Here's my theory on traffic directors. They could actually be saving you from something. And next time you want to lose your shit in traffic and and everything is slowing down, remember, that could be a life-changing or life-saving experience. So don't, respect those guys. They're bad enough they got to stand out in the cold and deal with all your crap all day long driving by. Give them some love, man, because these guys could actually be saving your life from something that could be happening 5 or 10 minutes down the road that you're not there to see. So that always gave me comfort, in traffic. I said, you know what? This is for a reason. Let's slow it down. Life is telling me to slow down, so I am going to slow down. My perspective, take it as you will. But tonight, I hope, remember that decorating thing I'm going to be doing tonight, that this will really make sense what I'm going to articulate, because I saw a reel the other day of a bunch of homeless men that were, Skid Row, and I'm not sure where it was. It was cold, I know that, because they were all bundled up. And the guy was asking them, why are you here? And the first question and the first answer they gave was, I got divorced. I'm saying to myself, oh, that sounds familiar. Let's look into it. At least 15 people that he interviewed, one after another. I got divorced, how did you get here? And their whole assumption and their whole perception was failure, that they failed in life. From a man's perspective, and I can relate to this, because from a man's perspective, if something like this happens, that you'll be okay, but your children are the ones that really suffer. And I can understand their pain in that. But what they did was the problem got bigger with drugs and alcohol, and they said mental illness and blah, blah, blah. They were going all out. But the point being is, how do you come back? And I'm talking to the women here too. How do you come back from such trauma, whatever it may be? I'm not talking like an airplane crash. I'm talking like a life trauma that has happened that really has set you back. Divorce, financial bankruptcy, job loss, those kind of things I'm talking about here. When you're dealing with the physical trauma, like I mentioned with the airplane and so on, so that's a whole different perspective. I'm talking about the generalization of these traumas that keep occurring in our life that keep us stuck. And what helped me was realizing that it was me that was causing the problem. My 10-year reign in my 12x12 was probably the best experience, because obviously, I've said this before many times in American Mentor, I had to lose everything to understand everything, to gain everything. And few people will do that, because they're stuck in the realm of failure. What did I do wrong? How did I lose my job? It all starts within us. It comes from the source, man. And it's also National Give Someone $1 Day. I'm not the person who likes to give the fish. I want to teach the person how to fish in life, because from there, their life is going to expand. They're going to expand even more. So charity is good, and these guys obviously on the street needed it. That's fine. But not only give, but teach. When you understand why things are happening, when you understand why you went through what you went through, most likely not the first time, the second, third, or fourth time, you realize there's a mental pattern here. And that mental pattern can be fixed. That pill's not going to fix it for you, meatball. It's all between your left and right ear. And there is a medical way of doing it, and there's a metaphysical way of doing it. And I'm a advocate for Neville Goddard, Feeling is a Secret, that 1944 masterpiece because he was telling us, I mean, 80 years ago, that all you have to do is feel better and you're going to create a better life. And people cannot believe it. They will not believe it. And it was, that poor guy was laying basic for that book. But ultimately, now it's everywhere about feeling, vibration, energy. People are getting it now. That's great. So us teaching others how to fish is going to help them in the long run instead of just giving them the one-time fish. So yeah, if you want to give somebody $1 today, it's not really going to go with inflation. You give them 20. That'll go boil down to it. But I will start with the how should we say, the doctor way of fixing trauma, because this reel is powerful. From a mental standpoint, this will make sense to most people. From a metaphysical standpoint, the believers in the sciences of metaphysics will realize, wait, this makes sense as well. So I got two different perspectives here on the same topic. And you pick and choose, but ultimately, to stop and get over what has happened to you, indeed, you can, we all can, for something like I mentioned before, because those high-impact trauma events really stick with us. Relationships, financial, those are powerful areas of our life that are hard to bounce back from. And when you realize that, you'll realize that I do have the power to fix it. I just have to understand how to do it. And it's actually really simple. I didn't understand it, but I was doing it. I didn't understand what I was doing. I was just doing better. Therefore, I was creating better. In other words, I was trying. But the problem is, when you get stuck in these trauma loops, you get comfortable. You get comfortable being alone. You get comfortable not having money. You get comfortable not getting the right job. You actually adapt, because we're we're creatures. We adapt to the environment. I mean, now it's friggin' cold out. Guess what we got to do? Put a coat on. We adapt to it. We do the same thing with our mental mind as well. You start getting used to something, you can expand. And when you realize that you have the power to go farther in life, that you're not stuck, this is not your lot in life, life will become a lot more fun. But it all starts with the feeling. And this psychologist from France had a great point on this, because I like what she said. She made it very simple. No medicine, no psycho drugs, none of this stuff to fix your shit. It really boils down to making a conscious choice. Because when you do, between your left and right is going to say, wait, this is awesome. We're creating new pathways, new thought processes. And it boils down to you making that one conscious choice. Are you tired of being on this hamster wheel constantly? Are you tired of always going through the same repetitious, mundane friggin' relationship? It all boils down to you saying, wait, I'm done with this. I'm deciding on a better life. But a better life, you have to rewire what's going on between the left and right ear. Now, the quote box tonight came from Rumi, my hero, man. The wound is a place where the light enters you. Indeed. You put a crack in the glass, man. You don't want to seal it. You want to let the stuff in there, man. I love that kind of notion, because when your heart is broken, it's basically wide open to the next heartbreak. And if you learn to fill it with the right feelings, it's going to heal properly, and it's going to direct you where you want to go. This lady is France CA, so France CA Psychology. She's on Instagram, and I'm not sure if the France CA, if that's a French word. Am I going to try to pronounce it? Oh, hell no. I'll just say it out loud for you guys. You guys can look it up. But she made some relevant points, and hopefully this makes sense to you. And she noted, people think they need time to heal, when actually what they need is new experiences, which show their nervous system a new reality. This is what Neville Goddard was saying back in 1944, man. I'll get to that shit. Hold on. When someone goes through repeated trauma or disappointment, their nervous system starts to expect danger, rejection, and loss. And I can relate to that, because I went into that friggin' pattern of life. Because when shit keeps hitting the fan, you get to the point you just start throwing it randomly. It just, okay, more stuff's happening in my life. This is what she's talking about. This is part of the rewire, the neural pathway rewire, that all you have to do is, time doesn't heal old wounds, only you can. When someone goes through repeated trauma or disappointment, their nervous system starts to expect it. That's the problem. You start to expect failure, and you come to this decision in your life that there's no other option. I'm shit, so I'm always going to attract it. Then you start verbalizing it, you start believing it, you even start writing it, typing it on your phone, in group conversations. Your whole sphere of influence is about negativity now. And until you get out of that, here's what she says about it. It starts to predict pain, even if it's no longer there. And that's how self-sabotage begins. That was the ending of that last paragraph. So what we actually need is new input. The nervous system doesn't learn through time. It learns through repetition and contrast. It needs to feel something different to believe something different. We are amazing. I mean, we have the ability to rewire our brain to think differently, feel differently, and attract differently, without any pills, without a couch, without any of these things in life. But it takes repetition, discipline, and the choice to do it. You make that decision in life that you're not going to go through this anymore, man. And I had to make that for myself. It was a hard choice because I was so used to failing. I got so used to losing everything and failing, and people become so down on themselves. And that there was a reason why they were saying back in the old days, pick yourself up by your bootstraps immediately. What they were telling us is saying, look, you keep doing what you're doing, you're going to keep on getting what you're getting. And it's a really simple analogy about that, but you have to understand how to manufacture those kind of feelings. What did I just say in the very beginning? I'm setting up the Christmas show here at America's Mentor in the Penthouse. Because what? It makes me feel good. You start surrounding yourself with things that make you feel good, you're creating new neural pathways of feeling good. Do it more, do it long enough, you inundate the brain with positivity. People say, why are you always so happy? Because I programmed myself to be happy. And that's all you have to do, man. It's really that simple. But it just takes you, it takes you making a choice, a conscious choice and a decision that I'm going to be this no matter what. And from that no matter what comes a better outcome in your life. And this is what Neville Goddard said back in 1944. There was a question, why is feeling the secret? You feel better about everything, your finances, your relationships, yourself. Life can only give you more of that. Like attracts like, the law of attraction. This is what he was trying to tell people many, many moons ago. And he did. He was doing lectures all over the country on telling people, just feel better about money, it's going to flow to you. And he's absolutely friggin' right. I'm living proof. Feel better about your career, and it's going to come to you even more. I'm living proof of that. When I took his advice, everything started to change in my life. And it was just a simple analogy, but I had to rewire what was going on between my left and right ear. Hence, journaling, affirmations, and constantly saying to myself, the better person that I've always wanted to be and acting the part. That, on a repetitious tone, is going to reprogram what has been programmed into you. Wherever you were raised, and I mean, anybody knows me, I was raised in a complete shit show of life. From loving people who just pressed upon their isms upon me. And that's generational. You see it in the neighborhoods. You see it generation after generation. The same isms going back and forth, back and forth. The cycle continues. You want to break the cycle, you got to break the pattern. You want to stop the repetitious heartbreak, the repetitious failing, all the debt in your life, financially, emotionally, spiritually. You have to think differently. And from that, you'll get this from Neville Goddard. And listen to what he said. Where did he get this friggin' information? It's absolutely amazing. But it makes sense. Think about this. Feeling is the one and only medium through which ideas are conveyed to the subconscious. Therefore, a man who does not control his feelings may easily impress the subconscious with undesirable states. What is he talking about there? Think about what I just said here. Feeling is the one and only medium, the one and only pathway to the storehouse, the subconscious mind. It's that feeling about self that gets stored. And if you consciously tell yourself that you're a failure, your mind is going to start attracting more situations to bring it to you through your energy process. To me, that's life-changing alone. Listen to what he said. Therefore, a man who does not control his feelings may easily impress the subconscious with undesirable states. Hence, you are pre-programming yourself with negativity, with failure, with loss, with the fact that you're not good enough, you're not worthy enough. That's why what affirmations do is you're telling your brain to think differently, telling your mind to think differently, to feel differently. Therefore, you're going to start feeling it. Guess what? It gets stored in your subconscious. There's a transformation. There's your quantum leap. There's the rewire. But you have to keep doing it. Not on a one-time thing, not for a week. I did it for years. It's not daunting. It's life-saving. Because from there, your body starts to look differently. And you can attest on shows that I had here with America's Mentor from 7 years ago to now. It's like night and day. Your body responds when you feel better. We all know this. But most of us have insisted upon a pill to help us get through the day. What I'm telling you is, if you keep telling yourself, affirming to yourself, believing and feeling that it's going to be a good day, good days are going to manifest. If you believe that you're financially well, that you're debt-free, money is flowing to you freely, you affirm that every single day, money is going to start happening in your life. There's going to be opportunities. Why? Because you feel better. That's the whole point about this. Listen to this. Feeling a state produces that state. So whatever constant feeling you emit every day, you're going to produce more of that. Guess what? Life's going to follow through and say, okay, you want to feel this way, there you go. Or it's going to say, yes, that's what I'm talking about. That's better for you. When you start doing that, life gets a lot more fun. Whenever you're feeling a conflict with your wish, feeling will be the victor. Listen to that. Whenever you're feeling in conflict, when you don't believe that's beautiful. When you don't, if you had this desire to be a millionaire, but in the back of your mind, you've been programmed that you're a schmuck. It can't happen because that's how you feel. This is what he's talking about. You have to get to the point in your life, you've got to be in this focused mode of not just positivity, but transformation. And realize that I am going to have this. I am being this. I am. Use those two words as your foundation in life. That's why they were saying it in Scripture. I am that I am. You got to say to yourself, I am that I am. I am all of it. Accepting life, not for what it is, but for what I can create from it. You start affirming those powerful words out of your mouth and the syllables that are flowing like that, energy is going to come to you in the most amazing way. You'll stop creating the repetitious emotional trauma that has plagued you. It has worked for me in the most amazing ways, guys. I love sharing experiences like this, but really think about what he said. Do the homework on the 1944 classic, Feeling is a Secret, for yourself. Or if you want to do it traditional way, the doctor in France had some fantastic points, because when someone goes through repeated trauma or disappointment, their nervous system starts to expect. When you start expecting, you're going to start getting. And if you start expect failure and all these mishaps in your life and a bad day, life can only give you that. So you got it from two different perspectives, on a medical perspective and a metaphysical perspective, that anything can change in your life with your choice to change it. But it's completely up to you. And I had to make that choice by default. I didn't have a choice. I had nothing else, man. Nothing else. I said, what do I got to lose? Let's try this positive shit and edify myself. And little by little, doesn't have to take 10 years for you guys. It can take a month and you're transformed. But you got to constantly do this stuff. Even after you're transferred. Even after you're transformed, you got to keep doing it, because the outside world wants to tell you otherwise. It wants to tell you there's lack, limitation, war, famine, all these things in life to bring you down. It's up to you to keep your feelings afloat. It's up to you to keep your your bliss alive with this life, because from that, life can only give you more of that. Yes, indeed, bad things happen, and a lot of trauma has happened to us in our lives, but it's our responsibility to bring ourselves back up by our bootstraps. It's our responsibility to bring ourselves to a higher level and show the world who we really can be, because from there, we attract all that. We're here to create experiences, man. We're here to live a life, not just work and go to bed and get up and do it again. All I'm saying is, yeah, if you have to do that right now, that's fine. But do it in a blissful manner, in a positive manner, and create the life that you've always wanted by living in it already. And your subconscious mind's going to store it. It goes from unnatural to the natural. So happy Monday to you guys. That was long, man. Hopefully it gave you guys some insight just to help you understand the true power that we have. You are not powerless. You are powerful. You are a divine being, a spiritual being having a human experience. Remember that. You are not limited. Only you limit yourself by your thoughts, man. Get beyond that. Get beyond the fact that you haven't had it all and you're never going to have it. You get beyond that. Life's going to show you a different chapter. It's going to show you a different way of living. You say, wait, I'm better than that. Indeed. And here it comes. Remember that for you guys. So understand it for yourself. Enjoy your Monday. I got to pull out the Christmas decorations, man. America's Mentor _radio on Instagram. # America's Mentor on YouTube. Much, much, much love for you guys for the follows and loves of my reels on there, guys. I'll talk to you guys soon. I'll get my voice back. Happy Monday!